What if I told you that the most powerful force shaping your life isn't out there in the world, but right here inside you? What if the difference between a life full of struggle and a life overflowing with success, peace, and joy comes down to something as simple as control? Control over what you say, how you feel, how you handle your money, and most importantly, what goes on in your mind. Imagine unlocking that control, not just in theory, but deep in your bones. How unstoppable would you become? How far could you really go? Think about this. Every person you admire, every story of triumph you've ever heard shares a secret. It's not luck. It's not genius. It's a mastery of these four invisible threads that weave the fabric of their lives. The moment you understand this, everything changes. You realize you hold the key to rewriting your own story. No matter where you are now, no matter the chaos swirling around you, this power is yours, and it's waiting to be claimed. Control isn't about perfection, it's about choice. It's about waking up and deciding, not letting your words spill out unchecked, not letting your emotions rule your day, not letting financial worries chain you down, and not letting the noise in your mind steal your focus. It's a silent, steady revolution happening inside you, one that builds strength with every decision you make. Why does this matter? Because without control, life feels like a storm you can't escape. Your words become weapons that hurt yourself and others. Your mood becomes a roller coaster, unpredictable and exhausting. Your money slips through your fingers, leaving you trapped in stress and doubt. Your mind becomes a battlefield of confusion and fear. You end up living reaction after reaction, pulled by forces you didn't choose, slowly losing your sense of self. But when you take control, you break free. Your words start to heal and build. Your mood steadies, becoming a wellspring of calm and confidence. Your money becomes a tool, not a burden. Your mind clears, sharpening your focus on what truly matters. Suddenly, you are no longer a passenger in your life. You become the driver. This isn't just theory or empty promise. Science shows that what you say affects your brain chemistry. Positive words release dopamine, the reward chemical that fuels motivation. What you feel shapes your hormones, altering your energy and decisions. How you handle money influences your brain's stress centers, impacting your health and happiness. And what you focus your mind on literally rewires your neural pathways, making new habits and realities possible. Understanding this gives you a glimpse of the treasure waiting for you. Control is freedom. It's peace. It's the power to step out of limitation and into possibility. When you master your mouth, mood, money, and mind, you unlock a version of yourself you may not have even dreamed existed, a version capable of greatness, resilience, and joy beyond measure. So stay with this feeling, let it sink in deep. This is your invitation, not to a distant, impossible dream, but to the very real, very human power you hold today. The power to choose your words, to choose your feelings, to choose your habits with money, and to choose the thoughts you allow to shape your life. The power to take control is the power to change everything. And that change, your change, starts here in this moment, right now. When you begin to grasp the magnitude of control, you start to see why so many people feel trapped, not because the world is against them, but because they have surrendered the reins of their own lives. They have allowed their mouth, mood, money, and mind to run wild, unchecked, like wild horses charging toward chaos. And the truth is, without control, even the brightest talents, the strongest wills, the most promising dreams wither under the weight of their own untamed impulses. But control is not a chain, it is the key to unlocking freedom. It is the quiet strength that steadies you when the storms rage. Imagine how different your days would be if you held that key tightly. If your words became weapons of creation instead of destruction. If your moods were your allies instead of your enemies. If your money was a source of security instead of stress. And if your mind was a fortress of clarity rather than a battlefield of doubt. This is not a fantasy. This is the reality waiting for those who decide to take back their power. Think about how much energy you waste every day on battles that are not yours to fight. The careless words that slip out, the moods that swing wildly with every little trigger, the financial mistakes made from impulse or fear, and the mind cluttered with doubts and distractions. All of it drains you. It exhausts your spirit and steals your momentum. But what if you could stop this drain? What if you could conserve your energy and redirect it toward building the life you truly want? Control gives you that power. When you learn to control your mouth, you harness the ability to influence your reality with every word. Words are not just sounds, they are spells that cast futures. Negative words feed fear and uncertainty. Positive words ignite courage and possibility. Every phrase you utter is either lifting you higher or pulling you down. Control means choosing words that align with your highest vision, that build bridges instead of walls, that inspire rather than discourage. It means speaking with intention, knowing that your voice is your first tool of transformation. Mood control is perhaps the most overlooked yet most critical form of mastery. Emotions are powerful. They color every moment of your life, every decision you make, every relationship you nurture or neglect. But emotions are not random. They are signals. And more importantly, they are choices. You are not a victim of your feelings. You have the ability to pause, to breathe, to shift your perspective, and to choose a mood that serves your growth. When you do this consistently, you become the captain of your emotional ship, steering through storms with resilience instead of sinking in despair. Financial control is more than numbers and budgets. It is freedom in disguise. Money can enslave or liberate, depending on how you handle it. It's not about how much you have, but how well you manage what you have. Every dollar spent mindlessly is a step away from freedom. Every wise decision, every moment of discipline is a brick in the foundation of your future security. Control over money means control over anxiety, over opportunity, and over your ability to live life on your own terms. And then, the mind, the most powerful tool and the fiercest battlefield. What you feed your mind shapes your reality. Negative thoughts are like weeds choking your garden. Positive thoughts are the sunlight that makes your dreams bloom. Controlling your mind means training it to focus on what elevates you, to reject what drains you, and to build mental habits that reinforce your strength and clarity. This is not easy. It requires vigilance and practice. But the reward is a mind that serves you, not sabotages you, a mind that propels you toward your highest potential. Every moment spent in surrender to chaos is a moment lost from your true power. But every moment you reclaim control is a victory, a step closer to the life you deserve. This control is not about harsh self-discipline that breaks your spirit. It is about loving yourself enough to demand the best from your actions, your emotions, your resources, and your thoughts. It's about honoring your dreams with consistent choices that move you forward, even when it's hard. Imagine waking up each day with the confidence that your words will inspire, your mood will uplift, your finances will empower, and your mind will focus. Imagine the peace that comes from knowing you are the author of your story, not a bystander swept along by circumstance. That is the power of control. It is the foundation of resilience, the root of success, and the source of lasting happiness. This is not just a message, it is a call to arms. A call to take responsibility for the one thing no one else can give you, mastery over yourself. It's a call to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect plan. Because the truth is, the moment you decide to control your mouth, mood, money, and mind is the moment your life begins to change. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. You have within you everything needed to turn this promise into reality. It starts with a single decision, a refusal to let your words spill unchecked, your emotions dictate your day, your money slip away, or your mind wander aimlessly. That decision is your first step toward a life of power and purpose. And with each step, the momentum grows until control is no longer a struggle, but your natural state. Hold on to this truth. Control is your birthright. It is your path to freedom. And once you claim it, nothing can stop you. Control over your mouth is where everything begins, because your words are the seed of your reality. Every sentence you speak sends ripples through your mind and the world around you. Yet most people underestimate the power held in their tongue. They speak without thinking, releasing words that wound, words that limit, words that create a prison out of their own lives. But what if you learned to master this one simple tool? What if you spoke with intention, purpose, and unwavering control? The effect would be seismic. Words shape your beliefs about yourself long before you act. When you say, I can't, I'm not enough, or this is too hard, your brain hears commands and obeys. It begins to reinforce doubts, fears, and limitations. Negative words become a prison of thought that suffocates your potential. But when you take control of your mouth, you speak words that build strength, ignite courage, and paint possibilities. You replace I can't with I will, I am with I am becoming. These shifts are not just cliche affirmations, they are commands that rewire your brain to align with your highest aspirations. Science reveals that words trigger chemical reactions in the brain. Positive words release dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, chemicals that make you feel motivated, calm, and connected. Negative words do the opposite. They trigger cortisol, the stress hormone that clouds thinking and drains energy. When you choose your words carefully, you harness biology itself to fuel your progress. This is not magic, it's biology. And control over your speech is the control switch. But controlling your mouth means more than just positive self-talk. It means choosing silence over gossip, kindness over criticism, and encouragement over complaint. Every word you utter shapes relationships, opportunities, and your reputation. When you speak with discipline, you become a person of integrity, respect, and influence. People trust you because your words are reliable, thoughtful, and purposeful. Your mouth becomes a source of power, not a cause of regret. It's easy to underestimate how much freedom comes from controlling your speech. Without it, you live reacting, angrily snapping at those around you, complaining endlessly, or talking yourself out of your dreams. But when you master your mouth, you create space for calm and clarity. You build bridges where there were walls. You unlock doors that were once closed. Control over your words also means controlling the stories you tell yourself, the narratives running through your mind about who you are, what you deserve, and what your future holds. These stories are the foundation of your identity. They are either chains or wings. When you speak words that affirm your worth and your potential, you rewrite the narrative. You become the hero of your own story, not the victim of circumstance. This mastery is not about perfection or never making mistakes. It's about awareness and choice. It's about catching yourself before negative words slip out and replacing them with statements that elevate and empower. It's about practicing this daily until it becomes second nature, until your mouth becomes the source of your strength instead of your downfall. Imagine the confidence that comes from knowing you control your words. You never regret what you say because you have trained yourself to speak with honesty, respect, and power. You become magnetic because your words inspire others and reinforce your own belief. This confidence spills over into every area of your life, your mood, your money decisions, your mindset, because control over your mouth is the foundation of all control. When your words are aligned with your highest self, they create momentum. Momentum that propels you through fear, doubt, and resistance. Momentum that turns dreams into plans and plans into action. The mouth, often overlooked, is actually the gateway to the life you want. Master it, and you master the power to shape your reality. Now, this mastery requires patience and practice. The mind is quick to fall back into old habits, and the tongue is quick to slip into familiar patterns. But every time you pause before speaking, every time you choose words that lift instead of tear down, you strengthen this muscle of control. You build a new pattern that rewires your brain and rewrites your life script. And the reward? A life where your voice is your ally, not your enemy. A life where your words create opportunities instead of barriers. A life where you inspire yourself and others daily. This is the power of controlling your mouth, the power to command your reality and shape your destiny. Take this truth deeply into your heart. Your words are your first and most vital tool of control. Wield them wisely, and you open the door to mastery over everything else. The mouth is the launch pad for your mood, your money, and your mind. Control it, and you hold the key to a life of freedom, strength, and endless possibility. Words are the gateway, but the true battleground lies in controlling your mood. Every day you face countless triggers, events, people, challenges that test your emotional stability. Most people are swept away by their moods, carried on waves of anger, frustration, anxiety, or sadness. They become prisoners of feelings that appear to come from nowhere and dictate their actions. But this surrender is not your fate. Mood is not a random force, it is a response. And responses can be mastered. The power to control your mood is the power to reclaim your emotional freedom. It means recognizing that your feelings are not accidents or uncontrollable storms. They are signals, messages from within that can be acknowledged, understood, and guided. When you take control of your mood, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the commander of your inner world. This shift changes everything. Science shows that moods affect your brain chemistry, your decision-making, and your ability to think clearly. Negative moods flood your brain with stress hormones that cloud judgment, lower creativity, and zap motivation. Positive moods release neurotransmitters that boost energy, sharpen focus, and open you to solutions and opportunities. Choosing your mood is not wishful thinking, it's a physiological reality. The moment you become aware of your emotional state, you create a gap, a moment of choice where you decide how to respond. This moment of choice is your greatest weapon against chaos. It's where control is won or lost. Every time you pause and refuse to let anger, fear, or despair control you, you build emotional muscle. You train your brain to navigate challenges with resilience rather than reaction. You cultivate a calm, steady presence that not only protects your peace but attracts respect, trust, and confidence from others. Controlling your mood does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your feelings without letting them dictate your actions. It means allowing yourself to feel deeply, then choosing the response that serves your growth and your goals. It's the difference between being tossed by the storm and learning to sail through it. Imagine the freedom that comes when your mood is your ally, not your enemy. When you no longer wake up feeling overwhelmed by invisible weights or go to bed replaying negative emotions. When your emotional state supports your ambitions, fuels your courage, and fuels your creativity. This freedom changes the way you face challenges. It rewires your entire approach to life. Building this control is a practice of mindfulness, a constant awareness of the inner dialogue and emotional currents flowing through you. It's about creating habits that reset your brain, deep breaths, shifting focus, positive self-talk, and reframing challenges as opportunities. Each small act of control is a victory that rewires your brain for stability and strength. But the most profound impact of controlling your mood is how it transforms your relationships with yourself and others. When you regulate your emotions, you become more compassionate, patient, and understanding. You respond with kindness instead of anger, with clarity instead of confusion. You become a source of calm in a world that often feels overwhelming. This emotional mastery also shields you from external negativity. The harsh words of critics, the chaos of stressful situations, the unpredictability of life. When your mood is steady, you are no longer tossed by every storm. You stand firm, grounded in the knowledge that your inner world is yours to govern. This security fuels your confidence and sharpens your focus. Control over your mood is the foundation for controlling your mind and your money. A stable emotional state enables clear thinking, better decisions, and disciplined action. It gives you the strength to say no to impulses, to delay gratification, and to stay committed to your long-term vision. Without this emotional control, your mind becomes a battlefield of doubt, and your money becomes a source of stress. Remember, controlling your mood is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when emotions rise like tides, threatening to pull you under. But each time you return to choice, each time you pause and steer yourself back to calm, you grow stronger. You build a reservoir of resilience that no external force can easily shake. You have within you the power to break free from emotional chaos, to take control of your moods, and through that control, take control of your life. When you do, you don't just survive, you thrive. You create a foundation of peace and strength that supports everything you want to achieve. Hold this truth close. Your mood is yours to command. When you claim that command, you step into a life of freedom, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. This is the gift of emotional mastery. The power to live on your terms with a heart steady and strong, no matter what the world throws your way. As you gain mastery over your mood, another pillar of your freedom stands ready to be conquered: control over your money. Money is often seen as a source of stress, a never-ending struggle, or a symbol of what's missing in life. But this perspective is incomplete. Money itself is neutral. It is neither good nor bad. What matters is the relationship you build with it, and that relationship is built on control, discipline, awareness, and intentionality. When you control your money, you control your power to choose. You break free from the endless cycle of worry and scarcity that keeps so many trapped. The truth is, money controls your life only when you let it. When you live paycheck to paycheck, when you spend without thought, when you ignore the reality of your finances, you hand over your freedom to stress and uncertainty. But when you decide to take control, you shift from being a passive spectator to an active architect of your financial destiny. Control over money begins with awareness, knowing exactly where every dollar goes. This knowledge isn't about restriction, it's about clarity. Clarity brings power. It allows you to see the patterns that drain your resources and the opportunities that build your wealth. It frees you from the illusion that money slips through your fingers without cause. You start to see that each decision you make with money is either a brick in the foundation of your future or a crack that weakens it. Discipline is the muscle that strengthens this control. It's the refusal to buy what you don't need, the commitment to save when it's tempting to spend, the courage to invest in your future when instant gratification calls louder. Discipline in money management creates a ripple effect. It brings peace of mind, reduces anxiety, and opens doors that were once closed. It gives you the ability to say yes to what matters and no to what distracts. But control over money is not just about cutting costs or saving every penny. It's about alignment, making sure your spending reflects your values and your goals. When your money aligns with your vision, it becomes a tool, a resource to build the life you desire. Each dollar becomes an investment in your freedom, your growth, and your dreams. This alignment fuels motivation and makes financial discipline not a burden, but a natural part of your journey. Understand this: controlling money is not about wealth alone. It's about security. The security to face life's uncertainties without fear. It's about opportunity, the ability to take risks, to invest in yourself, and to create choices instead of limitations. It's about peace, the peace that comes from knowing you are in command no matter what happens outside. Every decision you make with money affects your mindset. Financial chaos breeds stress, which clouds your thinking and drains your energy. Financial control clears the fog. It sharpens your focus and frees mental space to pursue what truly matters. It breaks the cycle of scarcity thinking and opens the door to abundance. This control is a daily practice. It requires mindfulness, pausing before spending, evaluating your true needs versus wants, and taking responsibility for your financial habits. It demands courage, the courage to face uncomfortable truths about your spending and to change long-held patterns. But the reward is profound, a life where money serves you, not the other way around. Imagine waking up without the weight of financial fear pressing down on your chest. Imagine making choices based on freedom, not desperation. Imagine having the confidence to say yes to your dreams because you know your finances are under control. This is not a fantasy, it is a reality waiting for those who dare to take responsibility. You are not powerless in the face of money. You have the ability to shape your financial reality through the choices you make every day. Control over your money is control over your life's direction. It is the foundation for stability, growth, and the freedom to live on your terms. Take this power seriously. Treat your money like the tool it is, a powerful ally in your journey toward control and freedom. When you master this, you will find your entire life shifting. Your mood stabilizes because money worries no longer dominate your thoughts. Your mind clears because financial stress is reduced. Your mouth speaks with confidence because you know you are building a future worth talking about. Control over money is more than numbers. It's the gateway to peace, opportunity, and true independence. When you claim this control, you step into a new realm of power. You become the master of your resources, the architect of your destiny, and the author of your life story. The path is clear: awareness, discipline, alignment, and courage. Walk it with commitment and watch how your world transforms. This control is yours to claim. It is not a distant goal, but a present possibility. Own it, and you own your future. With your mouth disciplined, your mood steady, and your money under control, the final frontier is your mind, the command center of your entire existence. Your mind is a powerhouse, capable of crafting realities, breaking barriers, and soaring beyond limits. Yet, it is also the most vulnerable battlefield. Left unchecked, it becomes a chaotic storm of doubt, fear, and distraction. But when mastered, it becomes an unstoppable force, a beacon guiding every thought, decision, and action toward your highest purpose. The mind is not just a thinking machine, it is the architect of your identity and the director of your destiny. Every belief you hold, every habit you form, every emotion you feel, all are born in the mind. This is why controlling your mind is the ultimate act of self-mastery. It means choosing what to focus on, what to believe, and what to reject. It means becoming the guardian of your inner world, refusing to let negativity, fear, or limiting beliefs rule your life. Your mind reacts to what you feed it. The images, sounds, conversations, and thoughts you allow shape the neural pathways in your brain. This neuroplasticity means your mind can change, grow stronger, sharper, more resilient if you consciously direct it. Controlling your mind is about intentional mental hygiene. It's about choosing to fill your mind with empowering ideas, clear goals, and positive influences, while filtering out noise that drags you down. One of the most powerful tools for mind control is awareness, being present to your thoughts without becoming a slave to them. Notice when fear whispers lies, when doubt creeps in, or when the mind spirals into negativity. This awareness creates space, a pause, where you can choose a different thought, a more powerful perspective. It's in this space that transformation happens. You stop reacting unconsciously and start responding deliberately. Control over your mind also demands discipline in what you consume. The stories you tell yourself, the information you absorb, the people you surround yourself with, all shape your mental landscape. Guard your mind fiercely. Choose inputs that elevate, educate, and inspire. Avoid mental clutter and toxic influences that cloud judgment and weaken resolve. Your mind deserves nourishment that fuels growth, clarity, and strength. Another key to mastery is cultivating focus, the ability to direct your mental energy on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions, mastering focus is like wielding a laser beam against chaos. It allows you to dive deep into tasks, maintain clarity under pressure, and resist the pull of procrastination and doubt. When your mind is focused, it becomes a magnet for solutions and opportunities. Yet, control over the mind is not about rigidity or denying the natural flow of thoughts and emotions. It is about balance, learning to guide your mind like a skilled pilot, steering through turbulence without losing direction. Meditation, mindfulness, and mental exercises build this skill. But the real power comes from daily practice, choosing empowering thoughts, affirming your worth, and visualizing your success. Your mindset shapes your reality because your actions follow your beliefs. If you believe you are capable, deserving, and strong, your behavior aligns with those beliefs. You take risks, persevere through challenges, and create momentum. If you allow your mind to be dominated by doubt, fear, or negativity, you become paralyzed, stuck in cycles of self-sabotage. Control your mind, and you control your potential. This control is freedom. The freedom to break free from limiting beliefs, to rise above past failures, and to rewrite your life story. It is the power to see obstacles as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and your potential as limitless. With your mind under command, you become a force that no circumstance can stop. Imagine waking each day with mental clarity, confidence, and focus. Imagine silencing the inner critic and replacing it with an inner champion that pushes you forward relentlessly. Imagine having the mental resilience to face any challenge, knowing you have the strength within to overcome it. This is not fantasy. It is the reality of a mind mastered. Every great achievement, every breakthrough starts in the mind. Control your mind, and you lay the groundwork for control over everything else. Your mouth speaks with power. Your mood stays balanced. Your money flows with discipline. All because your mind is your leader, your guide, and your shield. The mind is the ultimate battleground for control. Win here, and you win everywhere. This is why investing in mental mastery is the most important commitment you can make. It requires courage to face uncomfortable thoughts, patience to build new habits, and persistence to stay the course. But the payoff is a mind that serves you, empowers you, and propels you toward greatness. Know this, your mind is your most valuable asset. Protect it, nurture it, and train it with relentless focus. When you do, you unlock a wellspring of power that transforms every part of your life. You become the master of your thoughts, the creator of your reality, and the architect of your destiny. This is control at its highest level. A mind disciplined, clear, and unstoppable. Claim this power. Own your mind, and watch as your entire world bends to the strength of your will. Now that you understand the immense power locked within your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, it's time to see how these forces intertwine to shape the very fabric of your life. Control over each of these elements is not isolated. It is a harmonious dance that, when mastered together, creates unstoppable momentum toward the life you desire. The moment you begin to command all four, you ignite a transformation so profound that nothing outside can derail you. Every word you speak influences your mood, which in turn affects your mind, which then shapes how you handle your money. This cycle repeats itself, silently steering your destiny. Imagine for a moment if every word you utter was chosen deliberately. Every mood you experienced was consciously managed. Every financial decision was made with clarity, and every thought was guided by unwavering focus. This isn't a dream. It's a blueprint for personal sovereignty. The mouth is the gateway to your external world. What you say broadcasts your inner state. Harsh words create tension, encouraging words inspire connection. When you control your speech, you control how others perceive you and how you reinforce your own beliefs. Positive language shapes a positive mindset, which keeps your mood balanced and your mind clear. This clarity then empowers you to make wise financial decisions, which reinforce your confidence and peace of mind. The chain reaction starts with control over your mouth. Mood control keeps your emotional compass steady, preventing you from being hijacked by fleeting feelings. Your emotional state colors every decision and every interaction. A calm, composed mood invites opportunities and fosters relationships that propel you forward. It keeps your mind focused and your financial choices rational. When you master your mood, you break free from the chaos of reactive living and step into intentional action. Money control gives you the freedom to pursue your dreams without being shackled by scarcity or fear. It allows you to invest in yourself and your future, to say yes to growth and no to distractions. Financial discipline reflects the strength of your mind and the steadiness of your mood. It is the visible proof of internal mastery. When you control your money, you command the resources necessary to build the life you envision. The mind is the command center where all these forces converge. It is the ultimate arena where control is won or lost. A disciplined mind chooses empowering beliefs, filters out negativity, and maintains relentless focus. This mental mastery ensures that your words, moods, and financial decisions align with your highest purpose. Your mind is the architect of your reality. When it is under your control, you become the creator of your destiny. Together, these four pillars form an unbreakable foundation. Neglect one, and the whole structure weakens. Speak carelessly, and your mood spirals. Let emotions run wild, and your mind clouds lose grip on your finances, and stress consumes your energy. Allow your mind to wander unchecked, and your words, moods, and money follow suit. But when you take command of all four, you forge a life built on intention, strength, and unstoppable momentum. This mastery is not for the faint of heart. It demands self-awareness, discipline, and courage. It asks you to face uncomfortable truths about how you communicate, how you feel, how you spend, and how you think. It calls you to rise above excuses, distractions, and past failures. But the reward is priceless: freedom from chaos, from doubt, from limitation. Imagine a life where you speak words that build you up and open doors. A life where your mood is your ally, steady and empowering no matter what comes your way. A life where your finances serve your vision, creating opportunities instead of stress. A life where your mind is a fortress of clarity, focus, and relentless drive. This life is within reach. It begins with the decision to control your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. Every moment you spend mastering these elements, you move closer to that life. Every conscious choice, every moment of awareness, builds the momentum that transforms dreams into reality. This is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each step forward strengthens the pillars of your life and builds resilience against the storms of uncertainty. Take this truth deep into your core. Control over your mouth, mood, money, and mind is control over your destiny. When you claim this power, you stand unshaken in the face of challenges. You become a force of nature, resilient, purposeful, and unstoppable. This is your birthright. This is your path to freedom. And it starts now. Now, as you stand on the threshold of complete mastery over your mouth, mood, money, and mind, it's crucial to understand that this is not just about control. It's about responsibility. True power never exists without responsibility. The strength you cultivate is meant to serve you, but also to elevate those around you. When you take responsibility for what you say, how you feel, how you manage your resources, and how you direct your thoughts, you step into a higher version of yourself, one who leads not only by example, but by influence. Responsibility transforms control into purpose. It moves you from simply managing your life to mastering it. Every word you speak carries weight. It either builds bridges or burns them down. Every mood you entertain either lifts you higher or pulls you into the quicksand of despair. Every financial decision either plants seeds for growth or deepens the roots of limitation. Every thought either fuels your progress or feeds the fire of doubt. Taking responsibility means owning these effects with courage and integrity. When you claim this responsibility, you no longer blame external circumstances for your setbacks. You stop giving power to the chaos around you. Instead, you recognize that your inner world is the command center of your reality. You accept that no matter what happens outside, your response defines your outcome. This mindset is a fortress of resilience, enabling you to face adversity without crumbling. The weight of responsibility can feel heavy at times. It demands honesty, a brutal, unfiltered look at your patterns, habits, and blind spots. It asks you to confront the uncomfortable parts of yourself, to dismantle excuses and self-deceptions. But within this discomfort lies freedom. Because when you take full responsibility, you reclaim your power. You become the author of your story, no longer a victim of circumstance or other people's opinions. This responsibility also extends to your influence. The control you cultivate radiates beyond you. Your words shape your relationships. Your mood colors your environment. Your financial habits impact your family, your community, and even future generations. Your mindset sets a standard for those who look up to you. Owning this responsibility means consciously choosing to be a force for good, to inspire, uplift, and empower. The greatest leaders, the most successful people, the ones who change the world, they all understand this profound truth. Power without responsibility is reckless. Responsibility without power is weak. But when combined, they create unstoppable momentum that moves mountains. Now is the time to step fully into this reality. Let your control be a commitment, not just to yourself, but to the world around you. Speak with intention because your voice can heal or hurt. Manage your mood because your emotional state affects those who depend on you. Handle your money wisely because your resources can build dreams or drown them. Train your mind because your beliefs shape not only your destiny, but also the legacy you leave behind. This journey is not easy. It demands daily vigilance and relentless effort. It requires you to stand tall in the face of distractions, temptations, and setbacks. But every step taken with responsibility makes you stronger, sharper, and more aligned with your true purpose. Remember, control is not about perfection. It's about progress and persistence. It's about making choices that honor your highest self and refusing to settle for less. It's about creating a life where you are the captain, the creator, and the champion of your destiny. Embrace this responsibility with courage and conviction. Let it fuel your motivation and deepen your commitment. Because when you take full ownership of your mouth, mood, money, and mind, you become an unstoppable force, a force capable of transforming not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. This is your moment. Claim your power. Own your responsibility and watch as your world bends to the strength of your will. Every moment you delay taking control over your mouth, mood, money, and mind, you give away your power to forces outside of yourself. Each careless word spoken, every mood allowed to spiral unchecked, each impulsive financial choice, and every wandering thought chips away at your potential. But here's the undeniable truth. The power to change, to rise, to rewrite your story is always within your grasp. It never left. It never will. It's waiting for you to reach out, to claim it, and to wield it like the weapon it truly is. Understanding this means realizing that control is a daily practice, not a one-time achievement. It's a constant, conscious commitment to guard your mouth, regulate your mood, manage your money, and discipline your mind. It means starting every day with intention and ending it with reflection. It requires vigilance because the enemy of control is complacency. When you relax your guard, even for a moment, the old habits sneak back in, the negative speech, the emotional turmoil, the reckless spending, the scattered thoughts. But every time you catch yourself before falling back into old patterns, you strengthen your self-mastery. Each moment of awareness is a victory. Every choice to speak with purpose, to shift your mood, to budget wisely, or to refocus your thoughts rewires your brain for success. This is the process of transformation. Slow, steady, relentless. Your mouth can be the source of your greatest blessings or your deepest regrets. Words are seeds planted in the soil of your mind. Choose them carefully, because what you say aloud not only shapes your reality, but also rewires your brain's neural pathways. Positive affirmations build confidence. Constructive conversations open doors. Harsh criticisms and negative talk create mental blocks and self-doubt. Speak like the champion you are becoming and watch your world change. Your mood is the emotional engine driving your actions. When you learn to control your mood, you stop being a slave to external circumstances. You cultivate emotional resilience, a shield against the storms of life. This resilience is built through practices like deep breathing, gratitude, and reframing challenges as opportunities. The ability to stabilize your emotions gives you clarity in decision-making and steadiness in relationships. Money is more than currency, it's energy and freedom. Managing it wisely reflects the discipline of your mind and the balance of your emotions. Financial control means living below your means, investing in your growth, and saying no to instant gratification. It's about aligning your spending with your values and your long-term vision. This creates security and expands possibilities. Financial freedom is not about how much you have, it's about how well you control what you have. The mind is your most powerful asset and your greatest battlefield. Discipline your thoughts like a warrior sharpening a blade. Choose focus over distraction, belief over doubt, courage over fear. Feed your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and clarity. Reject negativity and mental clutter. Mental discipline transforms dreams into plans and plans into reality. Together, these four controls form the foundation of a life lived with purpose, power, and peace. Mastery here means freedom, freedom from chaos, from fear, from limitation. It means waking each day with intention, moving through the world with confidence, and facing challenges with resilience. You are not defined by your past mistakes or your current circumstances. You are defined by the choices you make now. The control you seize today builds the future you deserve. This journey demands courage, commitment, and consistency. But the prize is your life, the life you were meant to live, fully and without apology. So stand firm in your resolve, speak with power, own your emotions, command your resources, discipline your mind. Each step forward is a declaration. I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. No outside force can take this away unless you let it. Hold tight to your power because the world needs the strength only you can bring. Control your mouth, mood, money, and mind, and become unstoppable. Control is not a gift handed down by fortune or fate. It is forged in the fires of discipline and choice. Each moment you face a decision, to speak words that empower or tear down, to sink into despair or rise with hope, to squander resources or invest wisely, to let your mind wander aimlessly or sharpen your focus, you are shaping your destiny. The power to govern your mouth, mood, money, and mind is the power to reclaim your life from the chaos of distraction and doubt. It is the power to stand tall when the world tries to knock you down. Imagine the energy it takes to fight against yourself when these forces are out of balance. The frustration of words spoken in anger, the heaviness of moods that pull you under, the anxiety of finances out of control, the chaos of a restless mind. Each drains you chip by chip until you feel powerless. But the opposite is equally true. Each moment you exercise control, you build momentum, confidence, and strength. You create a ripple effect that extends beyond you, influencing every part of your life. The truth is, no one else can do this work for you. No one else can choose the words that leave your lips, the emotions that run through your veins, the way you manage your money, or the thoughts you entertain. This is your personal battlefield, and your victories here echo into every corner of your existence. When you own this responsibility, you step into a role of leadership, the leader of your own life. This leadership demands courage. It asks you to confront discomfort and uncertainty. It requires you to resist the easy path of blame, excuses, or avoidance. Instead, it invites you to stand firm in your commitment to growth, even when progress feels slow or invisible. The small daily victories, choosing patience over frustration, saving $1 instead of spending impulsively, redirecting a negative thought, these accumulate into a life transformed. Your mouth is a powerful tool for leadership. When you speak with intention, your words become a beacon for others and a compass for yourself. Silence the noise of negativity and doubt. Speak affirmations of your strength, your worth, and your vision. Use your voice to build bridges, to inspire, and to create possibilities. The energy you release through your speech shapes your relationships and your opportunities. Your mood sets the tone for your leadership. Emotional mastery means you don't surrender your peace to every trigger or setback. Instead, you respond with calm and clarity. This steadiness commands respect and creates an environment where ideas and growth flourish. When you control your mood, you lead not only yourself but those around you toward a higher standard of resilience and grace. Financial leadership is the visible proof of your inner discipline. It shows that you can manage resources, plan ahead, and make decisions that serve your greater purpose. Money becomes a tool for freedom and creation, not a source of stress or limitation. This kind of leadership inspires confidence in yourself and in others who watch your journey. Your mind is the ultimate leadership tool. A focused, disciplined mind sees beyond obstacles and crafts solutions. It holds the vision of what is possible and charts the course to get there. Mental clarity fuels innovation, persistence, and strategic action. By controlling your mind, you become the architect of your future, building it brick by brick with intention and resolve. This integrated leadership of mouth, mood, money, and mind sets you apart. It is the foundation of a life lived on your terms. It demands consistency and courage, but rewards with freedom and fulfillment beyond measure. The path is yours to walk, with each step a declaration of your strength and sovereignty. Never underestimate the power you hold within. Control over these four forces is not just a skill, it is your superpower. Use it wisely, use it boldly. Stand as the leader of your own life, unwavering and unstoppable. The world awaits the full force of your power. Claim it now. Every great transformation begins with a single conscious choice, a moment when you refuse to be a bystander in your own life and instead take the reins firmly in your hands. This decision is the spark that ignites your journey toward mastery over your mouth, mood, money, and mind. It is not a fleeting impulse, but a deep, unshakable commitment to yourself. A promise that no matter what storms arise, you will steer your ship with unwavering focus and strength. Control is not about suppressing your true self or living in rigidity. It is about creating space for the best version of you to emerge. When you master your mouth, you free yourself from the chains of regret, gossip, and negativity. Words can destroy, but they can also heal and build. The discipline to speak with care is a gift you give to yourself and to the world. Every positive word you utter plants a seed of hope, confidence, and progress. Emotional control is the cornerstone of inner peace. Your mood is not a random guest that visits without invitation. It is a response that you can shape. When you choose calm over chaos, gratitude over bitterness, resilience over defeat, you take command of your emotional landscape. This control doesn't mean you won't feel pain or frustration, but it means you won't let those feelings define you or dictate your actions. You become the calm in the eye of the storm, the steady hand that guides through uncertainty. Financial mastery is not about wealth alone. It's about the freedom that comes from wise stewardship of your resources. When you control your money, you control your future. You break free from the stress of scarcity and open the door to opportunities that align with your dreams. Every dollar saved, every budget planned, every smart investment is a brick laid in the foundation of your independence. Money becomes a tool, not a tyrant, a source of power, not anxiety. Your mind is the command center of this entire operation. The thoughts you cultivate determine your reality. Discipline your mind to focus on solutions, possibilities, and growth. Reject the noise of doubt and fear that wants to keep you stuck. Feed your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and vision. Mental clarity cuts through confusion like a blade, revealing the path to your highest potential. This mental control is your secret weapon in a world filled with distractions and noise. The fusion of control over these four pillars, mouth, mood, money, and mind, is the foundation of true freedom. It is the armor that protects you from the chaos outside and the compass that guides you toward your destiny. With this control, you don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just react, you create. You don't just exist, you lead. This level of control demands sacrifice. It asks you to let go of habits that no longer serve you, to face uncomfortable truths, and to push beyond your comfort zone. It requires patience because transformation is not instant. But every effort, every disciplined choice compounds. Like a river carving through rock, persistence shapes your life into a masterpiece of purpose and power. Your journey to mastery will inspire others. Control radiates from you and invites those around you to rise as well. People are drawn to strength wrapped in humility, to confidence grounded in responsibility, your example becomes a beacon, a living proof that change is possible and that greatness is within reach for anyone willing to take control. Never settle for less than the life you deserve. Control is not a limitation, it is your liberation. It frees you from the chains of impulsivity, emotional upheaval, financial stress, and mental chaos. It opens the door to a future shaped by your own hands, fueled by your own will, and defined by your own standards. The power is in your hands right now. Every word you speak, every emotion you regulate, every financial decision you make, every thought you choose, these are your building blocks. Build wisely. Build boldly. Build a life so strong, so vibrant that nothing can shake it. This is your moment to rise. Claim control, own your power, and step into the life you were born to live. There is a profound truth hidden beneath every challenge you face. You are more powerful than the circumstances around you. The strength to overcome is born from control. Control of your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. When you claim this control, you stop being a victim of external forces and start becoming the architect of your destiny. You become the force that shapes reality instead of being shaped by it. Every thought you allow to linger, every word you choose to speak, every feeling you entertain, and every decision you make about your resources sends a signal to your brain and to the universe about who you are and what you expect from life. The mind doesn't distinguish between reality and the vividness of your inner dialogue. It responds to the emotions you cultivate and the stories you tell yourself. So mastery begins there, in the quiet space where your thoughts form and your intentions take root. When you control your mouth, you transform your inner world. Words are not just sounds, they are the tools of creation. They can either build you up or tear you down. The power of speech is underestimated by many, yet it is one of the most immediate ways to shift your state of being. Speak with intention. Speak with conviction. Let your words be affirmations of strength, hope, and possibility. When you consistently do this, your brain begins to rewire itself for success. Confidence grows. Opportunities arise. Doors open. Mood control is the silent champion of resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way, some expected, others sudden. The ability to regulate your emotional response is what separates those who crumble from those who rise. Emotional control is not about denying your feelings. It's about choosing which feelings to give power to. Choose calm over chaos, gratitude over bitterness, hope over despair. When you master your emotions, you reclaim your peace, and peace is the foundation of clarity and wise decision-making. Money is often seen as the root of stress and conflict, but it can also be the root of freedom when controlled wisely. Financial discipline is a reflection of your mental and emotional control. It is a commitment to planning, to prioritizing long-term value over short-term gratification. Each time you resist an impulsive purchase or invest in your future, you strengthen your sense of agency. Financial control reduces anxiety and expands your capacity to pursue your dreams without the weight of uncertainty dragging you down. The mind is the ultimate command center. Control over your thoughts means control over your beliefs, your habits, and your actions. The mind is powerful beyond measure, but it needs direction. Left unchecked, it wanders into fear, doubt, and distraction. When disciplined, it focuses on growth, solution, and purpose. You have the power to train your mind like a muscle. Feed it with knowledge, surround it with positivity, and challenge it to break free from limiting patterns. Control over these four elements, mouth, mood, money, and mind, is not a distant goal but a present possibility. It requires vigilance, patience, and relentless effort. But the rewards are immeasurable. With control comes freedom, freedom from chaos, from fear, from uncertainty. You begin to live with intention, to move through the world as a creator rather than a bystander. The journey toward control is deeply personal but universally transformative. It demands honesty, an honest look at where you waste words, lose your temper, mismanage resources, and let your thoughts run wild. It demands courage to face those truths and the strength to change them. But with every small victory, your confidence grows. You build momentum. You become unstoppable. This is not just self-discipline. It is self-love in its highest form. To control your mouth, mood, money, and mind is to respect yourself enough to refuse anything less than your best. It is a commitment to living fully, boldly, and purposefully. It means waking up each day with the determination to steer your life in the direction of your deepest desires and highest potential.